Hi there, you're watching the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma, and today we're meeting in the garden, and we're down in the lower garden right above the creek. And we've done some work in the creek this summer, which I'm really happy about, but I have a little area in our actual garden that needs some attention that's at the top of the creek. I will get the camera turned around, show you where we are in regards to the rest of the garden, because I don't actually spend very much time over here because it's just kind of a naturalized area. But I do have a bunch of Gaultheria and blackberry that I need to attack and get it away from the dogwoods that are planted here in the front, just to give them a chance to really get going. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't have a whole lot of time. It's getting to be evening, and we are officially in fall, and the rainy season is nipping at our heels. So this area gets really soggy, the ground gets really wet, and we've done some things to remedy that. We've put rock down so that we could walk around in here fairly comfortably, but overall everything just stays cold and wet all winter long, and it's just not the most comfortable place to be in the garden. In the late fall and early winter, late winter, early spring, it's really only comfortable like right now, the beginning of October, or like the last part of September, backwards to like maybe 4th of July. So from now until July, I pretty much ignore this part of the garden, which is fine. It's all just like rhododendrons and Gaultheria, but I don't really want the blackberries to take over. So let's take a little walk around, and I'm going to show you a couple things, and then we'll get started. So this is a more familiar view from my videos where we have hostas and hydrangeas all in here. We've got the variegated dogwood tree there, and we usually come down this palette pathway, and we go in between there to get down into the creek, or we go that direction into the mermaid garden. But today we're going to swing around this direction and work on this area. So in this area, I actually have a yellow twig dogwood here, a variegated red twig baby dogwood there. This is the mother plant of that plant that I just dug up from a different area and put over here maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And then we have a yellow twig dogwood right here, and you can see it's getting swallowed by blackberry. And then we have a crabapple tree right there. So I just need to get rid of all the blackberry, push back the Gaultheria, which is this plant here, trim it up, bring it down, make it a shrub, and do a little bit of weeding. We do let this kind of go a little bit wild. We have fall Solomon seal all throughout here. This plant here is the fall Solomon seal, but you can see that we've got the Oregon native blackberry crawling along the ground. We've got some dandelions. We also have a ton of well, there's buttercup, there's ivy. I don't want either one of those in here, but we also have a ton of the native viola that I do leave in here. There's a whole bunch of it all like right here. So I try to leave the fall Solomon seal, and the viola and everything else needs to get weeded out in this area. We do have some crocosmia, which I just want to kind of corral a little bit. I like the crocosmia there. It's fine. I like the texture. It doesn't bloom prolifically. It is the native a master gardener that I used to know called the roadside orange. I don't really know the name of it. It's just one of the native crocosmias here, but it I like the texture, and it's fine there for now, but I do want to pull it away from this dogwood. So that's really what we're going to be working on today, is just getting this from the pallet walkway to the crabapple, just kind of cleaned up and looking good. As a side note and an update, this is where that red twig dogwood, variegated dogwood is in this area where we have all of our primrose and a jugga, which also needs to be weeded. But we pulled that out because it was struggling really bad over in this area. And we replaced it with the Siberian iris. So that looks pretty sad right now, but it's the end of the season and we'll just be cutting it back pretty soon here, and then it'll bounce back next summer. But that is the big clump of iris that was up in the moon garden in our container. If you missed the video where I put our moon garden to sleep, you can go check that out. I think it's called Good Night Moon Garden, and you can check that out in our videos. But I basically took out a bunch of perennials and all the annuals and just kind of tucked the bed away, or tucked the garden away for the winter. And one of the things that was in there was a huge pot of Siberian irises that were extremely root bound. So that's where they ended up, and they can naturalize over there and they can just get as big as they want to right there. That area stays really soggy as well. And so it will have consistent moisture, which the Siberian iris grow in moist soils and shade to part shade. So that's a perfect area for it underneath the canopy of the rhododendrons. All right, so let's get started with cleaning this up. I'm looking forward to it. It's just a mess, so I think it's gonna look really great.
This rose cambium is encroaching on this Rose of Sharon, So I'm gonna dig those ones out and we'll reuse them somewhere else. Next up is this big patch of crocosmia right here. I'm gonna pull all that out. Alright, so that area is all cleaned out now. Those two areas only took about a half an hour to do, and they're both all ready for the coming fall. So this area here, in spring, there is probably 100 or so narcissus bulbs and daffy bulbs that will bloom in early spring once this hydrangea is cut back. So that's always fun to see. That's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna go dump my my trash here, and I'll call it an evening. Thanks for watching.
When working with blackberries, gloves, really good idea. Especially leather ones.
Look at all your limelights going at it.
Huh?
Look at all your limelights. All your limelights are blooming. All your
hydrangeas?
Yeah.
Yeah, they look good.
Alright, well, here. You know. I think it because it's so weird. The half white leaf,
Say it again.
the half white leaf. That's so weird. Oh, again.
Okay.
That's the thing. All that.
Okay, that is going to be all that we do for this evening. Made a pretty good dent. So starting at the crabapple, we just got any blackberry that was around here, ivy, and pushed it back a little bit. Pushed all the ivy back here. We weren't able to take it all the way out because right here you could see how, I don't know if I could get it on the camera or not, but see how it's like going down? That is the creek down there. And so the bank is really steep right there. And if I pull all the ivy out, this whole area is gonna get eroded. So we didn't take all the ivy out, we pushed it back. We cut down the Gaultheria just to bring it down a little bit. Selectively took out stems down there in hopes to rejuvenate it come the spring. Definitely cleared all the areas out around the plants that we want here to give them room to breathe. And that is gonna do it. We weeded out the viola and false Solomon seal. We took all the buttercup and the ivy and the blackberry out of here, a couple dandelions here and there. I will show you around this direction. This is a 9 bark. I know it looks very much like blackberry. It confuses us all the time. I probably should have gotten the purple one or the black one or whatever it's called to differentiate, because when the blackberry grows up through it, it's really hard to see, but there's no pokies on it and it's soft and it grows in this wild vase shape. But behind the 9 bark, this is the bed we were just working on. The dogwoods are right on the other side here. And I started working over here a couple weeks ago. We cleaned all this up. I'm just going to show you right behind this patch of Gaultheria. There's the base of the Gaultheria. Immediately the ground starts falling away, and the creek, you can see the pipe there. The creek is right down in there, and you could see a little bit of the water down that direction. Maybe. Down there is water, and it goes right along inside here. Anyhow, we're up here on the top of the bank and behind the Gaultheria, so we just have to be really careful with what we pull off of the bank so we don't cause further erosion. All right, back on stable ground where I was just standing. It's really steep and a little bit muddy, so my feet are slipping all the time. Our long-term goal is to get rid of the ivy on the banks and replace it with sweet woodruff and, well, mostly sweet woodruff, and maybe some other ground covers that could hold the bank, as well as some shrubs and perennials. So we're planting willows and dogwoods and roses, more rhododendrons. We've planted a couple of trees. We'll continue to plant along the creek, holding that bank so that we can take the ivy out without disrupting the ecosystem too much. But it's an ongoing process. I expect this whole creek rejuvenation, revitalization to take at least 2 years. I'm kind of thinking more like 5. It might be the 5-year plan till it's all done. And Spencer's coming my way. He's watering the lower garden. We're getting these dogwoods watered in a little bit more. They're a little on the dry side. We don't have irrigation down here, so they're just surviving on their own, but they could use a little drink. So I'm gonna stop talking so he could come over here and do that. And I hope that you are celebrating your life. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.